Hello and welcome to Man's Model Moments. Have you ever wondered what space Vikings might look like? Do you have too much facial hair and feel the urge to howl at the new moon or eat raw meat? Are you loyal to the Emperor but feel like Space Marines are a bit soft? Well, if any of those are true, then today I've got something a bit different to the usual military fare for you. I'm going to have a look at the upcoming Space Wolves army set from Games Workshop for Warhammer 40k. Now this is a big old box with a lot inside it, so let's crack it open and see what we have inside. To start with, the whole set is covered by this full colour outer sleeve, which features some nice photographic work of the completed models from this set, painted by the GW Studio team. We then have the inner box, which again is in full colour, featuring some of the Space Wolves iconography. Opening that, we can slide out the open-topped box, containing all of our goodies. Now the first thing to say is that this box is absolutely crammed full, which is always a good thing. On top we get what most people will be most excited about, no less than 5 double frames of plastic miniatures. Plus 2 smaller single frames. More on all of these later. Next we get this large glossy Warhammer card divider, under which we have this folder style box secured by an elastic strap. Opening this up, we have our brand new 10th edition Codex Supplement, along with the set building instructions for all of the minis. Also inside, set into a protective card filler, are the box data cards, which again we'll take a look at a bit later. Getting all of this back into the folder on camera is not the easiest job, though I doubt that's really going to concern most people that are buying this set. We then have another divider, this time Space Wolves themed, and below which are the last items in the box. The large decal sheet, and 3 loose and 2 bagged sets of bases in various different sizes for our minis. So that's everything included. Let's have a closer look, starting with that new codex. This has a lovely matte and silk finish with embossed gold embellishments, giving it a sense of gravitas and quality. Very nice. Now the contents page is self-explanatory, and the book is laid out with lore, background and pictures for the first half, with the latter half getting into the game rules for the Space Wolves' use in various 40k systems. After the contents, we get straight into the kind of high-quality showcasing GW are well known for, with a 2-page spread of studio miniatures battling an orc force amongst some gorgeous snow-covered terrain. Several pages of background and lore featuring some great artwork follow, until you're presented with another double-page spread for iconography of the army, which will be useful in building your force. More lore on the various types of unit and characters in the army then follow. Which then brings us to the showcase. This is a set of photographs showing forces, battles and miniatures painted and displayed from the studio, which is all gorgeously presented and is the sort of visual porn that inspires so many to collect and paint these minis. We then get into the rules for the game, including some tips on how to paint your miniatures and the various data cards and unit makeups. I won't dwell on this here, needless to say that if you're a 40k player, you're very familiar with the format here. The inside rear cover also has a code to use to get access to the digital version of the codex, which again is very useful for players. The data cards come boxed in this oversized, almost tarot-style card box, featuring different artwork on both faces. Just a small touch, but I like that attention to detail. The first thing to say about the cards when taking them out is the gold edges, which just again give that touch of class to the product. I'm less keen on the artwork chosen for the card backs, but that's a personal thing, and these are quality of life elements for the game anyway, so you're probably not spending a huge amount of time looking at the card backs. Again, players of the game will be familiar with how the cards work, basically as rules, quick reference or crib sheets for your army, so I don't need to say more about them here. The army set figure instructions are an approximately A5 size, semi-gloss full colour booklet. Opening it up, you have a set of descriptions of the colour coding used throughout, as well as a full set of frame references. You get one each of the two small frames, one of the double frame making up the Wolf Guard head takers, and two each of the double frames for the rest of the included force. The instructions themselves are in CAD render type 3D format and are extremely clear, showing all available options at each stage for sub-assemblies and different equipment loadouts. They also show how completed assemblies look when put together, often from a different angle, which is really useful, and more traditional scale model companies could certainly learn a thing or two here. The transfer sheet is large and well printed, in perfect register and with excellent colour density. You get decals for vehicles, even though there are none in this set, as well as a lot of markings for some of the great companies, as well as a lot more generic Space Wolf symbols and runes. There's a lot here, and it'll keep you covered if you're converting generic minis or vehicles in line with your Space Wolf army. Now I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who have supported me directly through YouTube memberships and Patreon. This really does keep the channel going, and without you it would be very difficult for me to be able to continue doing this. Now if you're only just seeing your name on here for the first time, it's because I update this monthly, and if I've prepared some videos ahead of time, then there may still have the old list on, even if the list has been updated since then. Don't worry though, your name will get on the list and will continue to appear throughout your support. If you are considering supporting me, YouTube channel membership is by far the easiest way to do this, since Patreon is becoming a more challenging platform to engage with. Whichever you choose, however, I absolutely appreciate your contributions, and don't forget to come and check out the private members Discord, which you get access to at any level. Okay, let's have a look at the main event, the plastic. First up is our Wolf Guard Battle Leader. Unsurprisingly, you get some great moulding here from Games Workshop, with clean lines for the armour and good textures like on the wolf fur cloak. There are some great small details here too, like on the power sword and hammer, which will take washes really well. Personally though, I think my favourite mini here is that of the Wolf Priest, from the intricate staff to the runes on his stole. The way the cloak works is also very clever, and I love this stone-chipped dagger too. This is the first of the Grey Hunter frames. Again, you've got beautifully crisp moulding across the entirety of the frame here, with some great detail on things like the bolters. though you do have the Games Workshop cardinal sin of 1 foot up on a rock for a pose. The other side of the frame also exhibits the same level of detail for two-sided items like the bolters and chainswords. The second of the Grey Hunter frames again shows very crisp and fine detail, like the teeth of the chainswords once again. We do have more rocks for stance crimes, however. The reverse of the frame has no surprises here, just more of the same excellent moulding. Let's have a look at the first of the Wolfguard Headtakers frames next. This has a lot of big wolf cloaks with their fur detail, as well as the wolf-themed energy shields. There's a lot going on in this frame, with big chunky items like the cloaks and bodies, as well as fine detail like on the backpack embellishments. The second of the Headtaker frames also has the Fenrisian wolves on, featuring more of the same fur detail as seen on the cloaks. This might seem overdone if you're not used to GW minis, but it's designed to be easy to paint, not to be scale accurate. The last couple of frames we have belong to the Bloodclaws. These frames are much more regular in construction than any of the other frames in the set, and I do see a lot of feet on rocks again. The detail and crispness of the moulding is at the same high standard as all the others though. The last frame here immediately shows off some of that crispness with these lightning claws and some of the other fine elements like the chainsword teeth again, and some of those hanging necklaces and charms. One thing I should also mention here is the wealth of optional pieces all across the frames: knives, pouches, sidearms and so on. Let's have some close-ups of some of the frames to see that detail. In close-up you really can see how crisp this moulding is. From body sections to backpacks, the sharpness of edges is really second to none. The fine edges of these chainsword teeth, this little gem detail, and this hand all showcase that, as do many other elements here. Again, as I mentioned, it's really shown off in this lightning claw, and all of the details on each of these bolt pistols and their adornments. Here are those hanging claw pendants I mentioned before, which also demonstrate the finesse displayed here. You've got more good examples with these raised motifs on the shoulder pauldrons and the detail moulded into the heads. Just look at how complex the shapes are in these armoured leg pieces. The backpack icons here and the pistol details are all superb, and again will help you paint them whatever your skill level is. The other part of this is how smooth these pauldrons are. And again, the variety of options you're given is impressive. Here's the other side of them, showing you the intricate detailing of each of these. No mean feat in mass-produced plastic. The one-piece shields show that with their embellishments once more. And here's that fur texture on the wolves in close-up. You also get some nice engraved runes, like on the power sword here. I think the finesse on display here is perhaps best demonstrated in the teeth of the wolves' open mouths though, which are both tiny and precise. The last frame I'll show in close-up here is the other one for the Headtakers, as this shows not only how detailed some of these pieces are, but how complex the shapes are, which makes the minis easier to build, but obviously presents moulding challenges. And I think the way Games Workshop handle all of this shows a true mastery and understanding of the technology. With the engraved runes on the power sword, and the fur on the cloak within all of these complex shapes is pretty impressive. Again, the complex detail on the shield and the body pieces further demonstrates that, with things like these bones on the base of an already complex part. The Space Wolves army set is a very impressive box of kit. The codex and data cards are beautifully presented, and they both feel like you're getting quality products. The codex in particular has beautiful pictures and artwork throughout to pore over and get inspiration for painting your own miniatures. As for those miniatures, you get 28 of them in all: 10 Grey Hunters, 10 Blood Claws, 3 Head Takers, the Battle Leader, Wolf Priest, and 3 Fenrisian Wolves. At its RRP of £145, and discounting anything else in the box, that works out at just over £5 a mini, and if you take a conservative £45 off of the codex and data cards, then it comes down to around £3.50 each. Now you can judge whether that sounds like good value for yourself, but I think the quality of the sculpts and execution of the injection moulding displayed here, as I've hopefully showed you, can help you in that assessment. Now I will be building these in an upcoming video that should be out in a couple of days, so if you'd like to see that when it all comes out, make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell set to all so you don't miss it. Now the set is out on the 7th of June 2025, which is also when I'll be holding a Warhammer Come and Try event at the War Memorial Community Hall in Wincanton from 10 AM until 4 PM. There's plenty of free parking, the event is free to attend, and there will be tables available for gaming, a raffle, and a painting competition, so if you fancy pitching up and painting a free mini, or playing a game or two with your friends, then feel free to bring your armies or just yourselves at some point during the day. Now I've got the army set in stock, and I will be taking pre-orders. I'm actually selling this for the reduced price of £135, so if you want to grab one of these, then you can find them at my shop, mansmodelmoments.com, as well as a whole lot more in terms of modelling supplies. That's all for this instalment of Man's Model Moments. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more like it, and share this video with others you think would also enjoy it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and if you're feeling generous, then I also have a Patreon, which is absolutely the best way of helping me to grow the channel and produce more content like this. With that, I hope you have plenty of modelling moments of your own, and I look forward to welcoming you on the next video.